Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of our Kingdom Hearts 100% guide. We are starting off on the Destiny Islands, and it's a bit of a collectathon. We have to go and get provisions to build a raft.
Hey, what's happening?
But we get a chance now to practice our combat and fight some of our old teammates in Final Fantasy X. So here we have a similar situation like the dark side from the part 1 with the Awakening. Wakka throws projectiles and we can hit them away to stop them doing damage, or hit them into Wakka to do damage to him, stun him, and make him easier to attack with follow-up attacks. He also has a big charge attack that does serious damage if we don't manage to, hit it away. But realistically, he's good just to practice your parries and getting a nice volley back and damage back. But the Destiny Islands are just a picturesque little island where our protagonists Sora, Kairi and Riku are trying to build a raft to sail away from and abandon their family and their other friends in the island, Selphie, Tidus and Wakka. And as you can see, we're level 4, we're nearly 20 minutes into the game, and we have 14 EXP to get to the next level. And my hope is that I can show you guys a really handy EXP grind on every world that we kind of get to, just so we can have an idea of, okay, if I'm stuck, here's where I can kind of grind up some levels. But what all of the different characters on Destiny Islands try and teach you is they try and teach you the benefit of teching, or that is attacking while your opponent is attacking, to interrupt their attack and to give you an advantage and extra experience points, which is super cool. So obviously with Wakka it was knocking back the balls to stun him, and with Selphie it's literally just to either interrupt her attack altogether, stop her spinning attack, or stop her leaping attack that one deflects and then also hits her in the head, which does damage back to her. So of all the characters there, their tech points basically give you 1 point, or they do 2 points in the case of Wakka's super throw or Selphie's jump attack, that you knock it back and it hits her on the head. But with Tidus, what's really useful is that you're able to block him just completely. If you block his attack, you do no damage to him, and you get 2 XP. And if you do that enough times, you will eventually get levels. So obviously that is actually one of the best ways to gain levels on Destiny Islands, is literally just parrying Tidus again and again and again. And there have been some crazy challenges where people have gotten to level 100 max level on Destiny Island through just parrying Tidus and blocking him. So we are not going to be doing that today. But what I will say, particularly for if you're doing a challenge that's a bit further on in the video, which is where you can actually do a battle with Wakka, Tidus and Selphie all for one time, so 3 versus 1. But if you manage to win that fight, you actually get a potion for your efforts, which is a handy renewable way to get like a ton of potions for free, just using your blood, sweat and tears as payment. But what we will notice is, and the only way to unlock this 3 against 1 battle, is you have to actually beat Tidus, Wakka and Selphie individually, just like we've done now, and then talk to Tidus. And it's only Tidus that offers this 3 versus 1 scenario. Talking to Selphie or Wakka won't get this 3 for 1 situation. But we're going to pick up the rope, because that's another one of our materials. We just need a cloth and a second log, and that's our day 1 finished. But it became a matter of pride that I defeat these 3 on day 1. But an unfortunate thing that I didn't really kind of cop until I eventually got the ability. But it's the fact that if you're going to do this challenge, particularly on the staff, or on any of them really, you actually get a combat ability every kind of 3 or so levels on once you get to level 6. So we lost, and we're going to need to get to level 6, which should net us the ability Stun Impact. And once we get Stun Impact at level 6, we will get a much easier handle on fighting this 3v1. But I power through, I keep trying, and they just beat me again and again and again and again. And it's really, really frustrating. Like, in theory, it's just to try, like, because Selfie is the weakest, and in general, if you just jump around enough, Waka can't hit you. But it's just, if Tidus ends up hitting you, it interrupts your jumps, which then means that, you know, Waka's able to hit you, and if Waka hits you, then you're in trouble. But one other thing you're able to do is if you actually knock Waka's attacks into one of the others, they'll get knocked unconscious. So we end up knocking out Tidus there. Brilliant work, Sora. Then we can just chase down Waka, and then if we hit him, we can knock him unconscious, or at least stagger his attacks more, which is great. And obviously I would have been able to use potions, but I kind of was wanting to do the 3v1 battle with like to get a potion, like to get a net positive of potions. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be using a potion to then, you know, only get another potion and I'm not actually be getting any sort of boost to my potion supply. But now that we are just Tidus and Sora on our own, we should be able to beat him. Like, I'm just parrying him just so I can get that free counter attack. But that's pretty much it. It's just once you can get Selfie out of the way because she's the least hit points, if you can parry Waka into Tidus to give you some breathing room, then just go after Waka, knock him out, and then you can, like, focus down Tidus. But I'll show you a repeated battle with Stun Impact, and it makes such a difference. And what I will say is, if you redo that fight with any of the combo modifiers, because I'm pretty sure every dream weapon gives you an ability at that level. It's either Stun Impact for the mage build, but it'll be some other ability for sword or shield, but just equip that ability if you have the AP points. Hopefully you do. If you ended up dropping the staff, you might only have 1 AP, so that's a danger. You mightn't have that bonus there, so be careful with that. You might be able to equip the ability you unlocked, but hopefully you can. And the main thing here is that you, if you want to, could fight the 3 of them, get loads of potions to boost up your supply for future boss fights as we go along in the early days before we get access to healing magic, basically. And items become pretty important for any kind of boss scenario. And speaking of big boss scenarios, we actually get to fight Riku as well. Riku is only challengeable on day 1 of Destiny Islands. So if you go past day 1, we're not going to be able to fight him anymore, but I just said I would fight him the once just to show you his moves. And his big, like, you know, middle finger basically is his kickback attack. And what's unfortunate is we're using our Stun Impact, we're getting, you know, our ability off And unfortunately, Riku is immune to stun. He will not be stunned in this fight. So what's actually funny is that it probably will be better to take off stun impact. But in truth, no matter what way you're playing, you really want to only attack Riku twice. Just go 1, 2, and then if you only attack once or twice, it gives you the time, because the lower his HP goes, the quicker he'll fall back and do his kickback counterattack. And that counterattack is what does serious damage.
You still don't got it.
So just avoid his attacks, cycle in when you see an opening, and then just do 1 or 2 hit combos. Don't do your finisher, because if you start your finisher, you will not be able to move out of the way in time for his kickback counterattack. And like, here I am just getting hit like an absolute Aegis. I'm like, oh my god, please stop. But now, as you can see, literally every single hit is causing him to jump back with his kickback attack. So just keep single hitting him the lower he gets, and you'll eventually get 5 points for beating him. And we need a potion for beating Riku as well. So if you find beating Riku easier, you can fight him and get potions, or you can fight the trio and get potions, or you can just fight Tidus to get levels. It's all up to you. But what's really handy is if you follow this guide, you won't have to ask Kairi for any advice. And if you do that, you get a high potion as your reward. If you have to ask her for guidance as where anything is, it's just a potion. But we're going to have cutscenes to the end of the episode.
Kyrie's home is
Enjoy the story.
right?
Chat to you next episode.
Could be.
Have a good one.
We'll never know by staying here.
But how far could a raft take us?
Who knows? If we have to, we'll think of something else.
So, suppose you get to another world. What would you do there?
Well, I haven't really thought about it. It's just, I've always wondered why we're here, on this island. If there are any other worlds out there, why did we end up on this one? And suppose there are other worlds. Then ours is just a little piece of something much greater. So, we could have just as easily ended up somewhere else, right?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's why we need to go out there and find out. Just sitting here won't change a thing. It's the same old stuff. So let's go.
You've been thinking a lot lately, haven't you?
Thanks to you. If you hadn't come here, I probably would have never thought of any of this. Kairi, thanks.
You're welcome.
Sora! You wanted one, didn't you?
A Palpu fruit?
If two people share one, their destinies become intertwined. They'll remain a part of each other's lives, no matter what. Come on, I know you want to try it.
What are you talking?
It's nice to see you, this one. What? Wake up, Goofy! Wake up! This is serious!
Hey there, Donald. Good
We
morning.
got a problem, Goofy. But don't tell anyone.
Oh, Queen Minnie?
Not even the Queen.
Daisy?
No! It's top secret.
Oh, good morning, ladies.
What?